Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Mountaineer Postgame Show. I'm Schuyler Callihan, and this show, as always, presented by West Virginia on SI. The Mountaineers falling in Fort Worth tonight, 65-60 to TCU. So before I give my thoughts, let's go ahead and jump right on into the numbers. Joe Yesufu provided a little bit of a spark off the bench once again tonight, 11 points on 3 of 8 from shooting downtown. Javon Small, of course, led the way with 20 points and 7 rebounds. And for TCU, it was Vashon Alette with 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. An all around really good night for him, one of the best of his career. And really, the team stats, if you look at it, it's pretty even up and down the chart there. Even West Virginia shot the ball better from the floor, they shot it better from three. They kind of competed there in the rebounding categories. The turnovers were +3 in favor of West Virginia. But there, obviously, the biggest difference was West Virginia was only 2 of 5 from the free throw line, while TCU was 20 of 23. And while everyone is going to look at the discrepancy there, the 5 to 23, to me, the bigger story is TCU hitting 80+% of their free throw shots in this game. 87% coming into this game. TCU was 63% on the year. That was sixth worst in the entire country. And tonight they missed only 2 of their 23 shots from the free throw line. That's the story right there. It's not that West Virginia didn't get enough trips to the line. That's kind of been the case all year. And to be honest with you, when you shoot 33s, it's hard to get very many trips to the free throw line. So, yeah, there were some calls here and there that I think probably could have gone West Virginia's way and didn't. But that's not where my focus is. It's just that TCU just had an unreal and abnormal night from the free throw line at the worst possible time for West Virginia. And that was part of their come from behind win tonight. Secondly, anytime you have a 12-point lead or a double digit lead in the first half on the road, you've got to find a way to close that thing out. And even though I'm kind of talking about the full game here, I'm talking more so just about the first half in particular because that's where things really started to turn. West Virginia got sloppy with the ball, especially when Javon Small was out of the game. They gave up several easy baskets. That carried over into the second half where TCU got off to a really good start. Second half, slow starts continued for West Virginia. And they just dug themselves too big of a hole. I mean, it wasn't too big of a hole. It was a 10-point deficit. They were able to bounce back and tie it up late. But if they don't create that, small little ending of the first half where they played poorly on both ends and then start the second half that way, you probably win this game. Even if you swap out one of those two and play well, either at the end of the first half or a better start to the second half, you're probably still walking out of Fort Worth with a win. I don't know where this team is going to go. I feel like I can't get a read on them right now. Earlier in the year, I felt like I had a pretty good beat on things, even at the start of conference play. But I mean, I don't know. Is this a team that's just going to play to the level of its competition? Maybe, but then Sunday they would have played down to Cincinnati and they didn't. So it's really hard to figure this group out right now. Obviously, even though it didn't show up too much tonight, rebounding is still an issue. Timely rebounding, especially there at the end of the game when it's still within reach. It's still a one possession game. You've got the stop. You don't come up with the defensive rebound. TCU gets the ball, puts it back up. All of a sudden, it's a two-score game. Those little things have continued to haunt this team all season long. So even though, statistically they hung on the boards 34 to 26, they lost by 8, but I mean, I guess that's kind of not that great either when the team that you just played only had 22 rebounds in its previous game against Colorado, but still it's the timely rebounding. It's giving up offensive rebounds after you just defended your tails off for the entire shot clock, or when you do it twice and give up 2 offensive rebounds. It's just been a big, big issue for this team all season long. And there's no excuse for it. Like, I get they don't have the 6'10s, the 6'11s, the 7-footers. They don't have an endless supply of those. But rebounding isn't always about size or length. It's about effort and angles and knowing how to come off where the ball is going to come off the rim at. And Bob Huggins talked about it for years. It's not always about size or length or strength. It's about knowing where the ball is going to come off the rim. When a 3-point shot goes up, 5 guys shouldn't be sucked into the paint. That more likely than not, if the ball is going to not go through the hoop and it's going to hit off the rim, it's going to go bouncing back towards the 3-point line. It's not going to fall straight down into the paint. And I don't know why this has been a reoccurring theme with this group. They continue to just get sucked in. And offensively, when a shot goes up, no one's putting their nose in the paint. They're all trotting back. All 4 of the guys that didn't shoot the ball are trotting back. Not one person is going toward the rim. I don't understand it. But this is a tough position that the Mountaineers have put themselves in. What was a pretty nice looking resume starting to turn into a bit of a choppy one, because now you've got just about one bad loss for every really quality win that you have. You're plus net 1 in that category right now with 4 quality wins, 3 bad losses, but those bad losses, they almost count for 2, especially when it comes to the selection committee. So losing to Arizona State, not good. Losing to Kansas State, definitely not good. Losing tonight here to TCU, a game that you were, again, up by 12 points in the first half, just can't happen. So we'll see how the Mountaineers bounce back. They have the next couple of days off before returning to the WVU Coliseum to take on the Utah Utes. Josh Eilert making his return to Morgantown. That will tip off at 5 p.m. on ESPN+. That is the Coal Rush. Fans and players will be wearing black. So we'll see if the Mountaineers can bounce back. They've got a couple of games here at home against Utah and BYU. They are now 14-8 on the season, and they dip 1 game below 500 in Big 12 conference play at 5-6. So thank you guys for watching Mountaineer Postgame Show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page at West Virginia on SI. Give us a follow on X at SI_WVU. I'm Schuyler Callihan. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.